Good morning, students. Dear students, so far we have seen Wilson's theorem and Fermat's theorem and a lemma now to solve Euler's theorem. And we have seen a function called phi of n. What is phi of n? This is number of positive integers less than or equal to n and relatively prime to n. We have seen this function and we have seen in lemma. Now, before seeing Euler's theorem, let us see one more example that will illustrate the proof of Euler's theorem. Let m is equal to 12 and a be 35. These are the least residues of 12. Also, these are relatively prime to 12, right? These are the elements of u of 12. So, what is phi of 12? There are 4 numbers, so phi of 12 is equal to 4. Now, I am multiplying 35 into this 1 and 5, 7, 11. Right? I am multiplying. But see this time, this is congruent to 11 mod 12. Similarly, this one is congruent to 7 mod 12. This is congruent to 5 mod 12. So, this is congruent to 1 mod 12. So, I am getting that this product is congruent to this into mod 12. So, here this side I can take all the 35 together. So, I get 35 to the power 4 and remaining 1, 5, 7, 11. This side also I have 1, 5, 7, 11 mod 12. But see this, each of this number is relatively prime to 12. So, this product also will be relatively prime to 12. Hence, from this one, we get this one directly. We can cancel this one. That is the meaning. We have seen this as a theorem, right? So, 35 to the power 4 is congruent to 1 mod 12. What is this 4? This is phi of 12. So, we are going to see Euler's theorem in this similar format. Just recall now. Actually, if a and m are relatively prime, and these are the elements of u of 12, u of m. Here u of 12, and if you multiply this 35 together with these numbers 1, 5, 7, 11. You will get these residues, these numbers as residues, but you are getting all these numbers again, but in some other order. Okay? Dear students, now let us see Euler's theorem. The theorem statement. Let m be a positive integer, m must be positive, and a be any integer, maybe negative, a be any integer such that a and m are relatively prime, then a to the power phi of m is congruent to 1 mod m. We are going to prove this statement. M be a positive integer, a be any integer, so that these two are relatively prime. Then we have to show a to the power phi of m is congruent to 1 mod m. Let us see the proof now. Let for this number m, these are the least residues modulo m that are also relatively prime to m. See here r1, r2, etc. are phi of m. There are phi of m numbers which are less than or equal to m and relatively prime to m. These are the elements of what? U of m. What is u of m? I told. These are the positive integers less than or equal to m and relatively prime to m. Okay. From the previous lemma, the integers, these integers, if you take modulo to these integers, if you take modulo to these modulo m to these integers, we will get these numbers in some order. That was our lemma, already we have seen it. From the previous lemma, the integers, these are congruent modulo m to these numbers in some order. Consequently, just multiply these numbers in the left hand side. This is congruent to some Ri. This is congruent modulo m to this modulo m is equal to some Rj. So we get that this is congruent to these numbers modulo m. How do we get this one? Recall all of you. Actually, AR1 is congruent to some R1, R2, some Ri mod m. Similarly, AR2 is congruent to some number that number is belongs to this set, this R1, R2, R phi of m into mod m. Similarly, up to AR phi of m is congruent to some Rj or Rk or mod m. See that if these two are distinct, then corresponding remainders will be distinct. If we multiply this in the left hand side, we get this one, and if we multiply all in the right hand side together, we get this one, right? Actually, it's a theorem. See, A1 is congruent to B1 mod m, and if A2 is congruent to B2 mod m, then what can we write? A1 A2 is congruent to B1 B2 mod m, right? B1 B2 mod m. Okay. So we are getting this line. This product is congruent to this product mod m. But here we can take all the a's, correct all the a's. There are how many a's? Phi of m a's. So a to the power phi of m into this product is congruent to this product mod m. But see here, each Ri is relatively prime to m. So this product is relatively prime to m. So we can cancel this these two, and we get the theorem, Euler's theorem. Here each Ri is relatively prime to m. So this product also relatively prime to m. The GCD is 1. So a to the power phi of m is congruent to 1 mod m. So that's all the Euler's theorem. And if we put m is equal to p here, prime number p here, then what is phi of m? Phi of m will be p minus 1. So we get a to the power p minus 1 is congruent to 1 mod p. This is what? This is the Fermat's theorem. So Fermat's theorem is a one-line corollary to the Euler's theorem. So Fermat's theorem is a corollary. Now just let us see this one and another example. Let m be 24, a be any integer, okay, relatively prime to m. Okay, what is u of 24? U of 24 means what? Set of all positive integers less than 24, less than or equal to 24 and relatively prime to 24. Here 1 is relatively prime to 24, but not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5, not 6, but 7, etc. We get this one. There are 8 numbers. So phi of 24 is equal to 8. Phi of 24 is 8. If this a is relatively prime to 24, then from this Euler's theorem, a to the power 8 is congruent to 1 mod 24. We get a to the power 8 is congruent to 1 mod 24. Just we need this a to be relatively prime with 24. That's all. And if you take, for example, 77, it is relatively prime to 24. So we get this result, right? If you take 11 power 8 is congruent to 1 mod 24. See, it's so easy. Directly we could write many such results. If you take 5 power 8 is congruent to 1 mod 24. Because 5 is relatively prime to 24. So very directly we can write these congruence relations. Actually, we need mostly these reminders to be so small so that we can find the remainder of this one when we divide this number by 24. Suppose you are asked to find the remainder when this number is divided by 24. when this number is divided by 24, it's so easy. If you don't know this Euler's theorem, you will need to do many calculations, many steps, at least 2-3 steps it will take. But if you use the Euler's theorem, it is one line. Now let us solve an example problem. Find the remainder when this one is divided by 18. Find the remainder when this one is divided by 18. Students, mostly we will try to reduce this base smaller than this number all the time, so that our calculations will be easy. Okay, let us now find phi of 8. Phi of 18 is equal to 6. What is phi of 18? U of 18 is equal to this set. Here there are 6 elements. Okay, so phi of 18 is 6. So phi of 18 is 6. We try to reduce the base. See here, 245 is congruent to 11 modulo mod 18. 11 mod 18. Because 234 is divisible by 18. Okay, so we get this one, but we need this to the power 1040. So we need this 11 to the power 1040 mod 18. We need this one. Now we need this one. But see here, this 11 is relatively prime to 18. 11 is relatively prime to 18. So by Euler's theorem, 11 power 6 is equal to this one by Euler's theorem. 11 power phi of 18 is congruent to 1 mod 18. So we get this one very easily. We need to find this one, right? This one modulo 18. But here see, this one is congruent to 11 to the power 1040. But this is congruent to 11 to the power, I am writing this 1040 as 6 into 173 plus some 2 into mod 18. But this can be written as 11 power 6 to the power this one into 11 square. This is 11. This is 11 square mod 18. But 11 power 6 is congruent to 1 mod 18. So this is congruent to 1 mod 18. So this comes 1 to the power 173 into 11 square mod 18. But 11 square is 121. If you take the remainder, when we divide by 18, we get 13. Okay, this you can do simply yourself. If you divide 121 by 18, you will get the remainder 13. Thus the remainder is 13. Let us solve one more problem, and before that let us see a theorem now. Theorem: let m be a positive integer and a be any integer relatively prime to m. Then this is called an inverse of a modulo m. Already we have seen such theorem used by using Fermat's theorem, right? If p does not divide a, then a to the power p minus 2. This is the inverse of a, right? This is the inverse of a, because this is congruent to 1 mod p by Fermat's theorem. Similar theorem here comes. See, by Euler's theorem, this condition holds, right? This phi of m can be written as 1 into 1 plus phi of m minus 1, congruent to 1 mod m. See, if I multiple these two, I am getting 1. I am getting 1. If I multiple these two, if I take mod m, I am getting 1. And by the definition, if I multiple this one with a, and if I get 1, this number is called the inverse of a, right? We have seen this as a definition in the first lecture. So I am getting this line. So from this I am concluding that this is an inverse of a modulo m. That's all. What is the use of this one? we can solve this equation very directly. Solve this equation. Ax is congruent to b mod m, where a and m are relatively prime. See, that relatively prime. By Euler's theorem, this is an inverse of a modulo m. Just now we have seen. So I am multiplying this number on both the sides. I am multiplying this number on the both sides. If I multiple in the left side by this number, I am getting 1. So I am getting x is congruent to right side alone, that number will be into b mod m. See, the given equation is ax is congruent to b mod m. I am multiplying on the both sides by a phi of m minus 1. Okay, but this together becomes as 1 modulo m. So I am getting the rest. So I have got my x. So we have found x is congruent to this one. So our solution x is equal to this one mod m. So we can solve some linear congruence very easily. Now let us see example now. Solve the linear congruence, this one. Just now we saw the example. Let us a theorem. Using that one, let us solve this linear congruence. The congruence can be simplified as, here we may remove some 24x, no problem. So the rest will be 11x. Here if we remove 48, 2 times 24 as 48, we get minus 1. So the given congruence equation can be written as like this. Here what is u of 24? What is u of 24? U of 24 is equal to this one. I am finding the u of 24 just to find this phi of 24. So there are how many elements? There are 8 numbers. So phi of 24 is 8. So we have found phi of 24, and see, this 11 is relatively prime to 24. So from this line directly we can write 11 power 8 is congruent to 1 mod 24 using Euler's theorem. Okay. But see here, we need to find x only, right? So what we have to do, we have to multiply on both sides by 11 inverse of 11. What is inverse of 11? Inverse of a is this one only. So inverse of 11 means here phi of 24 is 8. So we have to find 11 power 7. See, let us find the inverse of 11 modulo 24. That is 11 inverse. 11 inverse is equal to 11 to the power phi of 24 minus 1. That is 11 to the power 7. Okay, I am multiplying 11 power 7 on the both sides. This becomes as 1. So my x is, we have got our x. What is x? This one only. Okay, but I am simplifying now. This as 11 square to the power 3 into 11 into minus 1. But what is 11 square? 11 square mod 24. 11 square mod 24. 11 square is 121. So 5 times 24 is 120. So 11 square mod 24 is equal to 1. So this is congruent to 1 cube mod 24. So the rest comes as it is. So this is minus 11. So minus 11 means it is 13. Always the remainder has to be a non-negative integer. Whenever the question is asked to find the remainder, then the answer has to end at a non-zero number. If you get here minus 11, you have to make it plus. So just I am adding 24. We can add, right? So x is congruent to 13 mod 24. 13 is the remainder. Then 13 is the solution. Sorry, x is congruent to 13 mod 24. 13 is the solution. So here the general solution is this one, 13, and you add 13 with 24. So 37, and again you can add 24. The general solution looks like 24t plus 13 if you write as an equation. So this is the general solution. This is the general solution. Now let us solve two more problems, exercise problems. Actually, there is a simple method to find phi of 24. How it is means, we need to see two results, then we can find these things very easily. Those two results are phi of any prime power e. This will be equal to p power e minus p power e minus 1, and phi of mn is equal to phi of m into phi of n. If this m and n are relatively prime, if m and n are relatively prime, these two results are important. If you know these two results enough, we can find phi for any integers very easily. What is phi of p power e? P power e minus p power e minus 1. Phi of mn is equal to, can be written like this, provided this must be relatively prime, otherwise it is not true. For example, let us now find phi of 24. Phi of 24. What is 24? How we write? 8 into 3. Okay. Here this is 8 and 3 are relatively prime. So we can write this as like this. But what is 8? It is 2 cube. What is phi of 3? It's a prime number, right? What is phi of p? Phi of p is equal to p minus 1. So this is 2. What is phi of 2 cube? We have to use this formula. 2 cube minus 2 square, and this 2 comes again. So 8 minus 4 into 2. So 8. And what is phi of 18? This 18 can be written as 2 into 3 square. So phi of 2 into phi of 3 square. Phi of 2 is 1. Phi of 3 square is 3 square minus 3 power 1. So the answer is 9 minus 3, 6. What is phi of some 27? 27 is 3 cube. So the answer is 3 cube minus 3 square. 27 minus 9. This is 18. Right? What is phi of some 45? How to find? This is phi of 9 into 5, 45. 9 means 3 square into 5. Right? But 3 square into 5, they are 3 square and 5, they are relatively prime. So this is phi of 3 square and phi of 5, phi of 3 square. So the answer for this one, 3 square minus 3 power 1. For this one, 3. It's a prime number, right? So we get 24. So for any number, we can find the phi if we memorize these two formulas. What is this one? Phi of p to the power e is equal to p power e minus p power e minus 1. And phi of mn is equal to phi of m into phi of n if these two numbers are relatively prime. And we will prove these two results in the later sessions. Now let us solve two problems now. Find the remainder. The question is, find the remainder when the first integer is divided by the second one. Find the remainder when this number is divided by 15. See, what we have to find is 7 power 10, 20 is congruent to x mod 15. We have to find some x. least residue to the least residue modulo 15. It has to be. We need to find some x, non-negative x, smaller than 15. That is the remainder when this number is divided by 15. Okay, we are going to use for such problems many times. In many ways we can solve such problems using Fermat's theorem, sometimes Euler's theorem. And here it is not a prime number, right? It is not a prime number, so we cannot use Fermat's theorem. We have to use Euler's theorem only. In many ways we can solve, step by step, by vigorous argument also we can solve. Now what is phi of m? Phi of 15? Phi of 15 is phi of 3 into 5, but 3 and 5 are relatively prime, so this can be written as phi of 3 into phi of 5. This is 2 and this is 4, so phi of 15 is 8. And see that 7 is relatively prime to 15, so by Euler's theorem, 7 to the power phi of 15 is congruent to 1 mod 15. But what is this phi of 15? 8. 7 power 8 is congruent to 1 mod 15. So using this one line we are going to solve this one. See, 7 power 8 is congruent to 1 mod 15. Now we have 1020 in the power. 1020. Now divide 1020 by 8. So this is see, if we divide this number by 8, we will get 127 times 8 and a remainder 4, right? What I am saying is the 1020 can be written as 8 into 127 plus 4, right? So 7 power 10 20 is congruent to 7 power. How this number can be written as 8 into 127 plus 4. This is congruent to or equal to, no problem, 7 power 8 whole to the power 127 into 7 power 4, right? Mod 15. You can put any number here because all are equal, right? Now you see this. 7 power 8 is congruent to 1 mod 15. So this is congruent to 1 to the power 127 into 7 power 4 mod 15. So 7 power 4. 7 power 4 means 7 square into 7 square mod 15. That means 49. But 49, if you take 3 times 15, 45, so it is 4 into 4 mod 15. So this is 16 means 1 mod 15. So we have got this last line. See this last line. 7 to the power 1020 is congruent to 1 mod 15. So when we divide this number by 15, we will get the remainder 1. So the remainder is 1. Now let us solve the second problem. We need to find x, where x is the least positive residue. Least positive residue to 18. Okay. Now again find phi of 18 now. What is phi of 18? 18 is 2 times 9. 9 means 3 square. These two are relatively prime, so can be written as phi of 2 into phi of 3 square. Phi of 2 is 1. 3 square minus 3 power 1. I told you p power e, this is equal to p power e minus p power e minus 1, right? So 9 minus 3, 6. So by Euler's theorem, and also to 25. Oh, before that, we may write 25 is congruent to, if you remove 18 here, we will get 7, right? 7 mod 18. Actually, we will always try to reduce this base smaller than this number, so that the calculation will be easy. So also see, this 7 is relatively prime to 18. Now by Euler's theorem, so by Euler's theorem, 7 to the power 6 is congruent to 1 mod 18. Now we need to find 25 power 2550. So from this equation, this is congruent to 7 to the power 2550 mod 18. But we have this equation. So now divide this one, 2550 by 6. 2550 by 6. So see here, this 2550 is equal to 425 times 6. So we can write this as 425 mod 18. But this is congruent to 1 mod 18. So the answer is 1 only. So if you divide this number by 18, we will get the remainder 1 using Euler's theorem. So students, in the next session we will prove these theorems. Phi of p power e is equal to p power e minus p power e minus 1, and phi is multiplicative. That means phi of mn is equal to phi of m into phi of n if m and n are relatively prime. And okay students, so far we have seen 3 classical theorems, namely Wilson's theorem and Fermat's theorem and Euler's theorem. What is Wilson's theorem? Wilson's theorem says that p minus 1 factorial is congruent to minus 1 mod p. And what is Fermat's theorem? A to the power p minus 1 is congruent to 1 mod p, where p doesn't divide a. Here p is a prime number. What is Euler's theorem? A to the power phi of m is congruent to 1 mod m. Here a is relatively prime to m and m is a positive. So we have seen these 3 results with the proof and a few problems to find the remainder. And even suppose you try to solve this problem, find the last 1 digit number for this one. Find this one. It is a 2-step only. Try to find yourself. First we have to reduce the 17, the base 17. 17 is congruent to 7 mod 10, and we need this one, right? But it is 10. What is phi of 10? Phi of 2 into 5. Phi of 2 into phi of 5. So this is 4. So we, by Euler's theorem, 7 and 10 are relatively prime. So we get, by Euler's theorem, it is congruent to 1 mod 10, right? This number, divide this number by 4, 666 by 4. So 126 now. So 17 power 666 is congruent to, from this line I am getting 7 power 666 mod 10, but this number is 7 power 4 times 1666 into 7 square mod 10, but this is congruent to 1, so it is 49. 49 mod 10 is 9 mod 10. So we can find the remainder very easily in 3-4 steps. So students, there are many exercise problems in the book. Try to solve yourself, and thank you. Let us see in the next session multiplicative functions and Euler's tau function and sigma functions, and conclude this 5th unit. Thank you.